Hey y'all, it's Chonfelito. We got a new tank here for you in the tech tree. We've got the Sheridan for you. It's going to be the Tier 10 American Light Tank. Now it's brand new, bringing a new shell type into the game again, I guess, because we did have that event. But it's going to be the Anti-Tank Ground-to-Air Missile, ATGM. I can't remember exactly what it stands for. But anyways, let's go over some statistics of the tank real quick while we watch a couple of the clips. So HP running at 1908 for the HP on that tank. The view range is pretty good at 302, so it is pretty good at spotting, but its concealment isn't quite as good as the Bat Chat, but it is more mobile than the Bat Chat, I would say, in my experience. It is running a 152 caliber gun, 152 millimeter. Now on your APCR, you've got 252 millimeters of penetration. On the heat missiles, you have 374, and on your HE shells, you got 99. Now, respectively, the damage does 560 on the APCR. On the heat, it does 560 as well, and then 680 on your HE. So, one thing is the velocity of the missile shells is really slow at 39 meters per second. So it is really, really slow. But the other shells, I find that as soon as you click it, they're just right there. It does 1,300 meters per second. So it does really, really quickly get to your target very fast. So where you aim, it goes, which is really, really convenient. So the base aim time isn't that great. I mean, I wouldn't really compare it to a T49 in Tier 10, mainly because the dispersion factors are pretty good for the tank. I find it to be quite accurate when I'm shooting. It does have 10 degrees of gun depression, which is very helpful when you're poking over the ridges and things. Now the speed, it does 65 forward. And the best part about this is it only weighs 17 tons. It is the lightest tank in Tier 10 by a long shot. I believe the Bat Chat is something like 26 tons. So the power to weight ratio is just phenomenal on it. And yeah, I think it's got, 48 power to weight ratio, horsepower per ton on that. So it really does great. The traverse speed isn't the greatest. The Bat Chat will beat you in the traverse speed, which you can see in a little bit of the clips there. That the Bat Chat will beat you on traverse speed, but it is very, very mobile. Now, looking through these clips, you can see that the penetration really is not that great. And one of the things that I ended up doing a lot when I was first learning to run this tank was that I was switching. I normally, like when I see that it's a red tank, I just switch, hit the 2 key, and I go right to my Pramo. And then I go to shoot, and I'm like, oh crap, it's a missile, it's gonna go super slow, and so then I get exposed, and you just hang out there too long. Now, the missiles are very, very entertaining, and they are fun to shoot, but it does leave you vulnerable, very, very vulnerable while you're doing it, because you have to be looking at your target. You can see right here, I'm shooting the missile into the side of the Jagdpanzer, and I try to loop it. Looping the shell is so difficult, because having the depth perception is very difficult, but I mean, with practice, you will get the hang of it. I mean, right here, watch this missile shot. I'm able to just guide it in. But as you can see, I have to be staring right at that Jagdpanzer right down as he's reloading. I don't know if he's reloaded, and I could have taken a hit right there from him. So you just need to be aware of what you're doing. And normally, I just shot APCR or HE, honestly. And you can see right there, I hit onto the top of the mouse, but I still didn't pen him. I was able to loop it up and try to bring it down on top of him, but I still wasn't able to pen him. So it's just something to be aware of as you're going through here. Now, you can see it does about 500 damage. I mean, it's 560, so you can get some high rolls. On your HE, if you high roll, I believe it's about 850, which is a great, great roll. Now, we will get to that tank right there, the Tier 9, tomorrow. I'll try and get a video out on it, so you guys kind of get an idea of what's going on with it. Now, this tank is, if you like the T49, this is going to be a very similar play style, very similar to what you're used to in a T49. You're very susceptible to any shell type. The one thing that this does have going for it is the HE shell, or the spaced armor on the sides, which really, really brings down the probability of you getting hit with an HE shell. It'll only do, as opposed to doing like 800 damage, it'll only do like 200. You can see right here, I'm trying to get an HE shot onto the side of the Bat Chat, and I just barely get it. You can see the high roll of 850 into the side of him. That'll make him rethink his life decisions there poking out against me. So the reload is pretty quick. I do find it to be a little bit long, so you don't want to be right in the thick of it. You want to kind of bail in and bail out, be able to get it in and out. Now, right here, I'm just trying to get in. There are a couple of tanks that I'm pretty sure that I can help clear up. I'm able to get a nice shot onto the side of the bat chat, and then there's a Progetto is there as well that I can clear if he decides to come around. Now I see that I've got my teammate over there in a little bit of strife, so I'm going to try and finish these guys up. Now as I'm waiting here, that Progetto comes around, able to get another shot into him, finish him up. So really, honestly, a great job here. Now that E100, watch this shot. I don't know. He hits it underneath the tracks into me. I mean, look at how he's lined up. That is the shot of a lifetime. I just can't believe it. I mean, I was having a pretty decent game, 3K. Now, for the average player, this tank is going to be pretty difficult to run, especially those missiles, because it is just going to take practice. And if you're not used to light tank playstyle, especially in tier 10, it can be very difficult because you are going to be very, very popular target because everybody sees you as free damage. Now, this game kind of shows how vulnerable the tank can be, but also how critical this tank can be, because if you poke out, shoot, and then you come back into cover, by the time you're reloaded, your camo will have reset. So the tanks usually forget about you because there's that little bit of lag time between the 10 seconds of camo reset, and then you've got that extra 4 seconds of the time that you'll just be waiting to reload, and so they may go and focus on another tank, and then you can poke out and shoot them again. It is very, very effective at the peekaboo, but the problem is that I found with the missiles especially is when you poke out and you shoot those missiles and you're waiting to guide it in, the second you shoot those missiles as it's flying through the air, you are spotted. If you can see that tank, you are going to be spotted. So you do need to be aware that as soon as you shoot your missile, unless you're at a super great distance, that you are going to be spotted. So you just need to be aware of that as you're going to shoot, because it is 152 millimeter, just like the T49. It does have pretty good camo, but with the big caliber gun, it's always going to make you spotted. So you can see right here, I'm just waiting to clear it up. I mean, it's still 7-on-7, able to get one more shot at him, and he gets a shot into me. That leaves him on a one shot. Now there's a couple of one shots around here that I do want to try and take care of, but I'm pretty much just holding this position here. Notice how I'm just switching back and forth between the two of them, trying to just spot up as best I can, trying to not expose myself too much. You can see right there, I'm trying to get a shot into the top of him, and I do. That's what I'm saying. This tank, I find it to be very, very accurate. You do get the random shots that just go way out into nowhere, but this tank I find to be very, very accurate. Now, as I'm going around here, I really don't want to poke out because there still is that 183 that I have not spotted yet, and the HESH shell will get absorbed by my side armor, so that is very helpful. I think the 183s aren't going to be shooting Pramo or the HESH at you, but they can shoot AP at you, which will do 900 damage, which if you're a 183 driver, shoot AP, because if you shoot HESH at this, you're most likely not going to pen your HESH shell, and then you're just going to be left doing 400 or 500, when if you would have just done AP, you could have gotten higher with it. So right here, you can see it's now down to a 4 versus 5 now. You see I get shot, and I hang out there way too long, and I get 900 roll. See, he knew what he was doing, not shooting the HESH at me. Because if he would have shot the HESH at me, I still would have been left on a little bit more hit points. But I am literally left on 0 hit points. I mean, I got 5. So, I mean, that 183 just splashes around the corner, and I'm dead. So I do need to be careful, and at the end of the game, you're going to see it kind of becomes a little bit of a problem as I know that 183 just needs to think about sneezing on me, and I'm going to be dead. So I see that this Maushin is isolated over here, so I'm going to come around to try and help clear this Maushin as much as I can. And you can see right here, I'm not going to be able to pen him very well. So I'm going to think about switching to the rockets right there, the missiles, as they're called, I guess. But the other team clears him up, no big deal. So right here, I'm not really sure if I want to try and loop a missile over the top to try and land on him. I mean, that shot is just so difficult. And if you don't pen him, then it's not worth it. And those shells are, I think, 3,600 credits or something like that. So it is expensive. If you just shoot missiles the entire time and you don't pen anything and you miss all your missiles, you're going to lose credits like crazy. And even if you just shoot regular ammo, you're going to lose credits like crazy. I mean, this is tier 10, and just like the T49, the credit coefficient is not great. I think I lost credits on every single game, and I was running the super boosters or whatever they are, the purple ones that give you extra credits. So I'm pretty sure this 183 is still hanging around here, so I do want to try and spot him up. And you can see right there, I get an unlucky bounce. That's one thing about that tier 9 that I'll get to in my other video, is the troll armor on that thing. Because it's kind of got a little C shape to the front of it, and that upper plate is angled pretty well, you can get some funky bounces off of it. Given my pen's not the greatest, but if I would have just shot an HE right there, I could have finished him up. But again, right here, I know that I'm unspotted. He goes right around the corner. I mean, look, I just had the tiniest little bit of tank there, and I was able to finish him up. So now it's just left that 183 and that T92 E1, which either of them, if they splash me, I'm dead. So it is a 3 versus 2, and I am the lowest hit point tank. But you can see right here, I'm going to get a nice HE shot right into the side of him, 645, and that 183 becomes spotted. Now I know that he's behind the rocks, so I'm going to see if I can just wait here until he pops out. But that T92 was able to clear him up. And right here, I'm pretty sure that my team can handle him, so I'm going to just try and roll in here and get another shot on this T92 E1. And he takes out my teammate, and I'm able to get one shot and then kill myself on the dive. But who cares? We won the game, 3.874. It's honestly, that was one of the better games that I had in it, but it is a very difficult tank to learn, and I'm still getting the hang of it. But overall, I think it's a great tank. I think it's going to bring a great play style into it, having another light tank in tier 10. I would compare it kind of to a more accurate T49, I guess would be a more applicable comparison in tier 10. So if you guys want to pick up the tank, it's great fun. Zooming around, I mean, you can just get in, out, and you could just get in, take your shots, and get out, and really kind of annoy the enemy. Just be aware that you don't have a whole lot of hit points, so you do need to be careful, but that spaced armor you can see around the sides there really does a great job of protecting you from those HE and even those heat shells. I mean, in the game here, I bounced a couple of heat shells from the tanks, so you never know what you're going to get with the tank. Overall, it's a great tank, but you do have to have a specific type of play style in order to really excel in it. I think I'm sitting at about 2k average damage and about 55%. So right about average with my normal play style, a little bit low on the average damage in tier 10. But overall, a great tank. If you guys want to pick it up, you won't be disappointed. The missiles are loads of fun when you get them to work, but just don't be disappointed when they don't work. And then also, if you guys end up picking this tank up, go ahead and in the link in the description below is a link to my email address. Go ahead and email me over any great missile shots. I'm putting together a missile compilation video. Then I'm gonna sync music and all sorts of stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. So if you guys have any of those, go ahead and send them my way. If you got any other replays that you want me to go over, or any other tanks in specific that you guys want me to cover, just let me know in my email. Go ahead and send me an email with a replay or anything like that. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Go ahead and give a like and a sub, and I'll keep the videos coming. We'll see y'all later.